Hello and welcome to ACS Golf and this week's review where I'm looking at this, the Taylormade RSI TP UDI, which is a driving iron. So the TP stands for Tour Preferred and the UDI, when it comes down to Taylormade, is their ultimate driving iron. Now the reason I'm looking at this driving iron, specifically this one's actually a one iron, and the reason is because this is from 2015. Now can you save yourself a bit of money and get this on the second-hand market rather than getting your brand new sort of Stealth 2 version or your sim, so newer version, or maybe looking at something else for the market, say a pin crossover that's newer. So it's a good option, I think, potentially to save yourself a bit of money and get a good driving iron. So as always, we'll have a closer look at the club, then I'll go through all the technology that was in this club, then we'll go down to the range, throw some figures at you, and then we'll go through the ACS Golf Scale. And at the end of the video, I'll say if you're looking for a driving iron, is it worth picking this up from the second-hand market? Now, before we have a closer look at the club, if you're new to this channel, do remember to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon. Reviews come out every Sunday of new, old equipment. There's a load of stuff behind me actually. I can't even have a second bag because I've got so much to review for you guys. So exciting times coming up. So do remember to subscribe. We've been going the channel now for a year and over, I think it's well over 3,000 hours of viewing. Only 4% of you subscribe. So do remember to subscribe, mean a lot to me, and also will help me take this channel further and give you sort of more extra videos and not just only the reviews. So there you go. So do remember to subscribe, guys, would mean a lot. Now, let's have a closer look of this Taylormade driving iron. Okay, here you go. So there you go, a closer look at the club. Now, one thing I'll say is sometimes when I'm reviewing sort of older clubs rather than newer, I do sort of think of sort of bag appeal. I think, if they go into a bag, will someone be able to tell that's an older club, or necessarily look at it and think, oh, where'd you get that from? That looks really cool. And I think with the Taylormade, this one, the RSI, I think this could definitely go in your bag and no one's really going to notice that, it's a club from 2015. I think it's really still got that bag appeal to it. Really nice looking club. Really do like it, to be fair. Now, on to the technology of this club. Now, obviously, it's Taylormade, so they're going to throw a lot of technology in it, and they have not disappointed with this. So, basically, the RSI UDI, bit of a mouthful there, isn't it? Sometimes has a hollow construction, body construction. There you go, you can see that, and it's constructed using stainless steel. The club face is made from a thinner, stronger carpenter steel, which Taylormade says will create faster ball speed. Now, this is an improvement they made from the previous model they released in 2014, which is just a Tour Preferred UDI. They've also got their speed pocket system. There you go. This is where they have created a 3mm pocket / slot in the sole of the club. This design allows the face to flex more impact even with off-centered hits. The side behind this creates a higher launch and greater ball speed, especially on shots hit low on the face. And the thing is with this speed slot system, you still see it nowadays, and Wilson Staff use the same sort of thing nowadays. And Taylormade have obviously progressed from it a little bit, but they're really doing it around the same time here, and they're doing it in all their irons as well. So the RSI actually had it in there as well, so just the normal irons. And one of the sort of reviews from the time was actually saying that you didn't really notice that much of a difference in the lower irons, but when you got up to the bigger irons, especially something in this with a hollow construction, you really did notice a difference, and it really did help to increase that ball speed on off-center strikes on the lower of the face. So it's really quite good technology there. And then we move on to a few bit more technology for you guys. So that face slot technology creates a more constant flex across the face that enables to maintain the ball speed and generate more distance on off-centered hits and towards the heel and the toe. So really trying to go in here with power across the face, and obviously with that forgiveness, because when it comes down to your longer irons, it's something you don't normally get. You don't get that forgiveness. And so obviously here Taylormade, trying to make the ultimate driving iron, is to give some of that forgiveness. Obviously, if you're looking for this, obviously You can go for more forgiving models, you can go for a hybrid, like I normally use a hybrid myself, or fairway wood, but they're really trying to help with that forgiveness. And then we're going on to the shafts, and they've got here, they had exclusive KBS Tour 105 shaft, which provides the Tour caliber performance, there you go, Tour preferred, at lightweight for optimum blend of speed, stability and accuracy. So they really did think about what shafts they were going to pair with this to really get the best out of the club, which is always a nice thing to do. You know, sometimes with clubs you can get like any type of shaft you want to get in it, but it's nice that sometimes then they really do concentrate and go, right, now this we think is the best shaft for it. So it's good there. And also you can get driver and 3-wood lengths in this, but for an iron, really to increase obviously that club head speed. Obviously then you could possibly lose a bit of control with it as you've obviously got a longer club, but you know, the aim here was to really replace your 3-wood if you needed to. Going to a little bit more at the top here, they had a dampener for better feel and sound. Like I said, large, unsupported thin face for maximum speed. And then, like I said, the speed pocket at the bottom there for consistency and distance. Now, this model itself was actually 5, so you can get it to 1 to 5 iron. Like I said, I got the 1. 1 iron was 16 degrees, 2 iron was 18 degrees, 3 iron was 20 degrees. 4 iron was 23 and the 5 was 26. So they really did cater for people who maybe did struggle to hit their 5 irons or 4 irons to give you that little bit more forgiveness. And then obviously then you're sort of getting up to your 3 to 2 to 1 iron, you know, especially 2 1 iron, you know, you're looking there as sort of your fairway wood replacement if you prefer the driving iron. So there you go, all the technology in the club. Now let's get to the range, throw some figures at you, and then we'll sort of discuss the ACS golf scale, which I'm not going to lie, I was a bit surprised by. So there you go. All right, let's get down to it.
So let's jump straight into those figures. So total carry 175 yards, total distance 216 yards, ball speed 132 miles per hour, launch angle 9 and height 34 feet. Basically and generally this did exactly what I wanted to do. The whole point of a 1 iron, you know, sort of that 16 degrees is that low powerful shot, which is really perfect when you really want the ball to sort of stay out of the wind or you're playing links courses. So generally happy with that. It did take me a while to get used to it, so even though the average really total distance 116 yards wasn't great, you know, when I really was hitting the middle of the club and getting what I think this club can do, I was getting up to total distance around that 230 yard mark, ball speed up around 140 miles per hour. So really when you're getting this club and you're hitting it through the middle, you're getting some really powerful shots that I'm happy with. The only fortunate thing is obviously being a driving iron, the forgiveness isn't great, and then, you know, in that point I was getting the ball speed down 130 miles per hour below and total distance under that 200 yards. So out the middle this thing was an absolute rocket. Not out the middle, I did struggle.
So there you go, there's the figures from the range. So a little bit of a mixed bag, to be fair. Obviously on average it did all right, 216 total yards. Really, you know, with 16 degrees here, if I was looking at a fairway wood replacement, I'd be wanting to more around that 230. But this is a driving iron, which can be quite difficult to hit. And like I said, I was getting that 232 on a few of the better hits. It's just obviously the consistency with it was lower. I will say that's also down forgiveness and it is down to user error. I always find, especially with the driving iron, it does take me a time, and it probably takes a lot of you watching as well to get used to it. You know, it's a different weight at the head of the club. You're not having such a big head. And it takes some time to really find the middle of the face. You know, I really thought with this, to be fair, if I tried it longer, maybe took it out of the bag, maybe kept it in the bag for a couple of months, I really feel like it could become an absolute weapon for me. I mean, it's the same thing when I had the crossover, the 4 iron, driving iron. You know, I found with the ping, it took me a while to get used to it, but now it's one of my most dependable clubs in my bag, especially off the tee when I'm looking for around that 200 yard mark. So not exactly the numbers I wanted, but overall, there's definitely more from it. So if we go into the distance for the ACS golf scale, I'm giving it 4 out of 5 because, you know, those hits, like I said, when I was getting that 230 total distance, you know, around that sort of 3-wood, 5-wood mark for me, you know, ball speed 141 miles per hour was the fastest I hit. Had a few that was up near that 140 mark. The potential in this is massive. I really feel like if you put this in someone's hands, or if I learned to use it a bit better, kept it in the bag for a bit longer, I feel like I could definitely get more out of it. It felt strong, it felt powerful, and I knew that I had not reached the potential of this club in that sort of range setting. I mean, don't get me wrong, I hit, how many balls I hit? I mean, I've got here 15 balls there, but I definitely hit a few more because I took it out another day as well. But I know that there's more potential in here. So that's why I'm giving it a 4 out of 5, because I think it is a rocket. But obviously, in the end of the day, it is a driving iron. They're not the easiest to hit, especially a 1 iron. So do be aware of that. If you're thinking, I'm going to get rid of my fairway wood and I'm going to pick this up, if you're a high handicapper and it's going to be the easiest thing in the world, then yes, it could work for you. But if you're not used to driving iron, or if you're not very good with your irons, this isn't a fix. This is definitely for someone who's a lower handicapper who wants that replacement from the fairway wood, basically, because they want to get on the fairway each time. Maybe they're not struggling with their fairway wood, they want a bit more consistency, and that's what this club is aimed for. So distance is definitely 4 out of 5 for me, because I know the potential's there and I know I can get it better. So there you go. And because, yeah, if I'm hitting out the middle all the time and getting 230, that's spot on. That's great. So yes. So distance, 4 out of 5. Now, feel. Feel for me, 3.5 out of 5. I definitely felt the power off the face. If I hit it wrong, like most sort of driving irons, because they're not that forgiving, I definitely knew about it. And it just felt powerful. Like I said, I felt like I could get more out of it if I gave it more time. So yes, 3.5 out of 5. I really did enjoy the feel of it. Obviously, it's not the softest thing because it's a driving iron. It's not forged. It's a hollow construction. They're never going to get that soft feel. But I just like the power feel from it, because that's what you want. From a driving iron, you want to feel that power. You don't necessarily need to feel finesse or something. I want to know that I've got this club in the bag. It's at the top of my bag, and it's going to go the distance. So really happy with that. And with the 16 as well, happy with the ball flight, etc. So happy with that. Looks for me, I did say already that I think it fits in the bag well for a modern club, and I really do like it. So I'm giving it 3.5 out of 5. I like the shininess of it. I like the RSI. I do like the Tour Preferred little badge they put on it as well. I think it's just a really nice, good-looking club. And obviously, it is chunky, but that's a driving iron. That's what they are. They are always chunky. If it's the thinnest thing in the world, you've probably just got an iron and not a driving iron. So yes, but 3.5 out of 5. Happy with the looks. Now let's get on to forgiveness. Forgiveness for me, I'm going to have to give it, I think, 2.5 out of 5. There is some forgiveness there, but going through those numbers there, as you saw, not a great amount. If you're, a high handicap golfer and you're picking this up, you will be punished with it. Do not expect it to be the easiest thing in the world to hit. But I'm giving it 2.5 out of 5 because for who it's aimed at, the lower handicapper, etc., there's definitely perfect amount of forgiveness in there to do exactly what you want to do. There is forgiveness in here. It's what I sort of expect, really, for sort of, Tour Preferred driving iron that's sort of aimed more for that better player. Really, if you want something like this and you're high handicap, I'd go for a hybrid. If you can't get on with a fairwood, try a hybrid because you will get the forgiveness from that. So 2.5 out of 5, not fantastic, but definitely some forgiveness in there. So do be aware of that. Now, price. And this is the one. So for me, price, I've given it a 3.5 out of 5. So from Golf Bidder on the UK, second-hand market here in the UK, you can pick it up between £70 and £91, which is about $88 to about $115. Now on eBay, the 2-iron I saw for £78. That's just under $100. 4-iron, which obviously not so looked for. Obviously if you're looking at the 1-iron, the 2-iron here, they're going to cost more than the 3 and 4-iron because it's definitely something that people, if they're looking for a driving iron, are going to be looking more for them. They're in more demand. So obviously, depending on what you pick, will cost more. But 4-iron was under £60, that's under $75. A 3-iron, this was actually cheaper than 4-iron. So it was under £54, which is just around $67. And then the 2-iron, I saw a 2-iron actually go for £50, which is about $63. So there's definitely deals to be had with this. So I definitely 3.5 out of 5. I think if you're looking for a driving iron, this price is good. I mean, if you're looking at the same year, then you might be looking at Strixon ZU45, which are roughly the same price, but very much the same. Maybe a bit newer, 2017, and you got the Cobra utility iron, same sort of price. I've used the Cobra utility iron before. I definitely think there's more forgiveness in this personally for me, so I think this is a better buy. Ping G crossover, you're looking at the same sort of price, but the Ping G crossover is really, really chunky. It might be a little bit too big for someone who's looking for this type of iron, because the whole point is you're looking for this. You don't really want to use a hybrid, and the hybrid is quite chunky. Ping crossover is a very chunky one, so borderline more for me, looking like a hybrid. But there you go. And like I said before, if you're looking at the beginning of the video, the whole idea is this is a cheaper option for the sim. And newer models, then you're looking over £100, so looking over the $125 mark. So price 3.5 out of 5. Very well happy with the price. We felt I do think it's a good deal. So overall, do I think this is a good option if you're a really good ball striker with your irons and you're looking for a driving iron because you just can't get on with your height fairways, etc. Or you maybe you're looking for one iron, you play a lot of links courses, you want to keep it out of the wind because that's exactly what this does with that low penetrating ball flight. Do I think it's a good option for its price from 2015? I really do. I do think this is a bit of a bargain if you're looking for a UDI. You won't be disappointed with it if you're looking for a driving iron. It looks good. It does the business for distance. It's got a nice feel from it. And like I've mentioned, you can get this for under $100. You can get this probably for under £60 as well in the UK. It is worth it. Okay, so do keep a lookout for this if you want this. If you're looking for a driving iron, do keep a lookout for this because it is a great club. Okay then, there you go guys, my review of the Taylormade UDI RSI from 2015. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you like it. Like this video because there's going to be more reviews obviously coming up. Give it a like and also comment down below if you play with a driving iron. And if you do play with a driving iron, why do you play with it and what model do you use currently? Be really interested to know. Okay guys, I'll catch you next week. Bye bye.